We're here today with Lisa Canning. Lisa is a phenomenal entrepreneur who started at 17. And Lisa, tell your story, a synopsis version.
Tell you my story. Well, my story is that I'm a professionally trained musician. I'm a clarinetist, and I love the arts. And I thought that being an artist was going to mean all kinds of growth opportunities and being with people who were really excited about trying to do new things and learn. And what I found was the farther you got up in the art world, the more people wanted to tear you down because there are not enough opportunities, right? So you can't find enough money, you can't find enough gigs to play, and so I decided instead to start a business. And that business was selling clarinets, because clarinet's what I knew what to do. So that expanded into trumpets and trombones and French horns and saxophones, and I started hiring basically starving artist types and teaching them how to build their identity and their business and brand using my products and services as a vehicle, which is why I really related to your story about entrepreneurship in a box, because you can teach anybody anything if you can raise their self-confidence, get them to realize that failure is accepted and they can do it very quickly, and you give them skills. They have to build skills. So I did it for about 25 years and built a $15 million business that had a few different divisions, both in wholesale and retail and real estate, and realized that really what I was doing was training my employees to compete with me, to go off and start their own businesses, to get better jobs, doing things they loved, and that it wasn't a very good way to efficiently manage a profitable business, because my goal was not to keep them there. Although they had golden handcuffs, they were paid very well. I had the model all wrong. You know, you pay somebody a living wage, or you pay them enough money, and then you're training them to leave. It was kind of screwy, but when you start things at 17, you don't always make sense out of all the pieces right away, right? So 10 years ago I sold it, and I kept a piece of it though so that I could support myself. And so I still sell high-end clarinets under Lisa's Clarinet Shop, and because I have a reputation for doing this, I don't need a fancy shop, and I don't need an 800 number, and I don't need a lot of things that I had in my youth that I thought were so important. That it was so important to have a physical presence and to look like a big store. And in my wisdom, I've come to realize you don't need any of that stuff. You just need to build relationships with people, and they need to trust you, and you need to do what you say you're going to do every single time, and be responsible, and you'll get plenty of business. So I've been doing that, and now I've been working on trying to help entrepreneurs again, but doing it through helping them sell and export their goods and services, and to teach them really how to build crowd. How do you build an audience? Because everybody wants to go get money, but what you actually just need is customers, right? If you get customers, you can get the money you need to invest and reinvest into the things that you're doing, and you're in a much stronger position than if you're beholden to somebody who you then can't pay back. So our goal is to help sales and export, and also to focus on crowd services, and to actually not just do the training, but actually help them implement it. And I'm out of beta. We did a education pilot. I built curriculum for an education pilot, because they teach you in life about how to start a family, and what family relationships are supposed to be about, and what your social life is supposed to look like, but they don't actually teach you about the economics of yourself, right? Like, how is it you're supposed to take the things you love to do as a person and turn them into an income stream? And so we used a very organic, holistic approach that I had in my head for decades and turned it into a methodology. And we got published a few places. We just got published in a book by, what's the Entrepreneurship Association? USASB just published a book on hot models. So we're in this hot model book that just came out. And I also did an incubator for creative people. When I say creative, I mean anyone who thinks they're creative. If you say, I'm a different person, I have different ideas, you're a creative person, right? You don't have to play a musical instrument or dance or sing. You just have to be different. So that's what our incubator was for. People who thought they were different and thought that they could change the world in some funky way. And so now we're working with the same kinds of people, but we're going to do it hopefully on a global basis. And we've done some work in Jordan. I've worked in Jordan off and on in high schools and with youth. And now we're going to start a project probably in Pakistan. It's kind of my story.
So incubator's gone, or is it still there?
The incubator was a test. It was an experiment to be able to prove the concept, and also to see we needed some scientific evidence, because the education model that I ran was very successful, but I needed to run an A version and a B version. So in the incubator, we offered people the option to go through education or to simply use the incubator for support services, and we created some diagnostics to be able to determine what worked and what didn't, so that we could shut it down and then take it online and bring it into a virtual environment. So it doesn't exist anymore because it was an experiment.
Super. Thank you so much, Lisa.
You're welcome.
Everybody, please follow her on Facebook and Twitter and ask her nice questions so she can help
And I'll
you out.
answer. I will. I'll answer.
She looks like the kind of person she would want to help you, right?
For sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.